All right, third grade, we are going to do a quick review of history before your test tomorrow. So don't forget, you have to do your maps as well as study over chapters 2 through 5. So we're going to do a quick map review and then a little bit of Miles Standish because we already did John Smith and Pocahontas, so you can go back and watch that video because it's there and, you know, play the game and review with me. We did it today during lunchtime and the first part of history, but then you can go back and watch that and watch this one to do the second half with Miles Standish and Squanto. So we're really quickly going to do our review of our map, so look carefully and say the continent or the ocean that I point to. I'm going fast, so you better stay with me. Make sure, what is this? Indian Ocean, because that's the Southern Ocean, right? I know our map is a little off today. Pacific Ocean, good. Atlantic Ocean, good. Excellent. Good. I can't fool you guys. Excellent. Good job. Yes. Also Africa. By the way, I think that's the island of Madagascar. If you've ever seen that movie, like from Pixar or whatever, that's what that is. Australia, Antarctica, good. Asia, Europe, Arctic Ocean, good. Good. Pacific Ocean, Africa, North America, good. Good. All right, so know your maps, your oceans, your continents. And then we talked about Miles Standish. And as we were talking about him, there were several things that we were supposed to remember. So we first started talking about him and he was on board a ship. What was the name of that ship? Yes, I heard you. Good job. I heard you, Micah. It was the Mayflower. So he was on board the Mayflower. And as he's on board the Mayflower, he's daydreaming back to when they were in Holland. Remember, they were in Holland and they were making the plans to come over. So there were two groups that we call one group. I know that's kind of confusing, right? But what were the two groups that we grouped them into one main group and we call them something else? But what were the two groups called? Yes, I heard you, separatists and strangers. Very good. The separatists and strangers. And the separatists and strangers became who? What one group do we call them today? Yes, very good. I heard you, Ben. Excellent. They are the Pilgrims. Very good. So the Pilgrims were the separatists and the strangers. Which group went to America for adventure? We said. The strangers. Very good. And which group went to America to have freedom to worship and separate from the Church of England? The separatists. Excellent, excellent job. Who was the first Native American to help the Pilgrims? Aaliyah had it earlier today, so who else remembers? Samuset. Remember Samuset. He was the first Native American to help the Pilgrims. That's who we learned with Miles Standish. We hadn't talked about the other one we're going to talk about in a minute. So Samuset was the first Native American to help the Pilgrims. What laws were written to govern the Pilgrims in America? What was the name of their group of laws that were written? Yes! Elbow bump, air high five, confetti. I wasn't sure if you would remember that. The Mayflower Compact was the set of laws. Very good. All right, just a fun bonus fact, but let's see. Ella knew it today. Let's see who else knows it. About how long was the Mayflower? Yes, about as long as a basketball court. Very good. Let's see. Which group did not care about religious freedom coming to America? Again, the strangers. I know I already asked about the strangers, but I can ask it different ways because you never know which way they're going to ask it on a test or a quiz. So always be prepared for whichever way that it's asked to know the answer. What one goal brought the separatists and strangers together? What was their main goal? Why did the separatists and strangers come together? Because they didn't both go for religious freedom. They didn't both go for adventure. So why did they go? To go, yes, I heard you. To go to life in a new country, to find new land. Very good. Who wanted religious freedom? The separatists. Why were the separatists not happy in Holland? I heard you again, Micah. You were the one that answered it today in class. Because the children were being a bad influence. Not even just the children, but even some of the adults. And so they wanted to make sure that their children had a better influence. They weren't forgetting the English ways. Who was chosen to be the leader of the Pilgrims? Miles Standish. Very good. Let's see. Where did the Pilgrims first land, but they did not settle there? Where did they first land, but did not settle there? I think I heard, okay. Yes, I heard you. Okay. Ella, I heard you. Cape Cod, right? They went to Cape Cod, but there was no fresh drinking water or what else? No harbor for the ships to come in, right? So no fresh drinking water, no harbor, so they did not stay there. What year did they find a good harbor for their ships? If you're thinking carefully. I think some of you did get it. Yes, Lily, did you say it? 1620, because I know, remember we got that one a little confused, but yes, 1620, the Pilgrims found a good harbor for their ships. Where was that harbor? What town did they call it? Plymouth, yes. So understanding how all of that works together. Very good. Let's see. What did Miles Standish do to help the sick pilgrims? What did he do to help them? Wash their clothes. He cooked for them. He was a nurse to them, right? He did lots of things to help take care of them. There were times where there were only how many? 6 or 7 that were healthy enough to help take care of the other pilgrims. Good. How did Samuset surprise the pilgrims? How did Samuset surprise them? Yes, he spoke in English. What did he say? Welcome, Englishmen, right? And they all kind of went, what? Huh? How did you know? Hi, how you doing? Okay, they were surprised. So Samuset spoke to them in English. How did he know English? English fishermen came and taught him some of the words. Very good. Let me see. Why did the gentlemen come to Jamestown? Jamestown, they came for wealth, right? To pick up those gold nuggets. Why did the Pilgrims come to Plymouth? For religious freedom and adventure, because remember, Pilgrims are the 2 groups. So religious freedom and adventure. Good. Who was the Native American who was kidnapped? Yes, that was very quick and easy. Squanto. Who kidnapped him? Oh, come on, you know this. Yes, I knew you would remember. Captain Hunt. Captain Thomas Hunt kidnapped Squanto. Where did he bring him? Do you remember? Lily, do you remember that one? Do you guys remember? Aaliyah? Spain. Took him to Spain and sold him as a slave in Spain. But he was able to escape. And when he escaped, where did he go? Zeke, do you remember? To England. Yes, he went to England. And in England, he became friends with somebody. We talked about it today. What's the man's name? 3rd grade. Come on. You know. I think I heard some of you. Mr. Dermer. How can you forget that name? It's like Dermer. Mr. Dermer. Okay. Mr. Dermer became a friend of Squanto and helped him to be able to go from England back to the United States. So he made that new friend, Captain Dermer. When Captain Dermer brought Squanto over, what did Squanto find out? His tribe was gone. No one was there. What was told to him? They all died from a great sickness. So who offered to let Squanto live with his tribe? Yes, very good, Isabel. I heard you. Chief Massasoit. Chief Massasoit told Squanto he could live with his tribe. Who was the first governor of Plymouth? Yes, I heard all of you this time. Very, very good job. Governor Carver. John Carver was the first governor. Good. What did, how do I want to ask this? Okay, what did the Pilgrims and Indians have, I'll kind of put it that way, that lasted over 50 years? Yeah, that was too easy. A peace treaty. Very good. They had a peace treaty between them that lasted over 50 years. Good job. Squanto decided he wanted a new home. Where was that new home? With the Pilgrims. All right. I asked this today. I can't remember who was it. Tyler? I know Zeke, you got some. Isabel, you got some. Aaliyah got some, but I don't think anybody said the whole thing. So see, I know Noah, you were saying some too, Lila, but what are 5 things that Squanto did to help the Pilgrims? Come on, Ben, Carter Oliver, do you remember? 5 things that Squanto did to help the Pilgrims. Name all, gotta think of them all. Are you using your book? Don't cheat. Okay, so we know he helped them hunt, right? Making maple sugar and maple syrup. What else did he do? Right? He helped them to make nets from the tall grasses so that they could finally fish. He taught them how to plant the corn, right? He taught them how to cook their vegetables, and remember that meal with corn and meat and beans. What was it called? Because you guys liked saying it. Succotash, right? Succotash. He helped them learn to make their succotash and other things, to learn how to walk quietly through the woods. And then what was the one thing that you guys all forgot? The kids. He helped the kids learn which berries and nuts to pick. Very good. I think I heard Carter, Ben, good job. So don't forget those things. Let's see. They had a really good harvest afterwards, like where the Pilgrims were actually prepared and ready. And when it came time to harvest their food, they had a good, bountiful supply. Who came and with how many people? I know that's kind of like vague, but who came and with how many people? Chief Massasoit. I heard somebody say that. Chief Massasoit came with how many? Yes, good job. Elbow bump, air high five, confetti. With 90 warriors. He came with 90 warriors to celebrate the first feast of Thanksgiving, or the feast of Thanksgiving, with the Pilgrims. How long did it last? Yes, good. Some of you got it. 3 days. It lasted for 3 days. Good. I think that's it. Yes, we got through all of it, and I can't think of anything else. So hopefully that was a help, and you'll be able to watch that to be a little extra prep for your test. So you can watch it tonight, you can watch it tomorrow morning on the way to school, whatever. But hopefully that will help you to get excited and ready for your test tomorrow in history. I will see you tomorrow. Study hard, do your work faithfully, and have a great night. Love you guys. See ya.